Bernheim Arboretum and Research Forest is a 14,000-acre arboretum, forest, and nature preserve located in Clermont, Kentucky. Bernheim was founded in 1929 by Isaac Wolfe Bernheim, a German immigrant and successful brewer whose whiskey distillery business established the I.W.Harper brand. He purchased the land in 1928 at $1 an acre because most of it had been stripped for mining iron ore. The Frederick Law Olmsted landscape architecture firm started work on designing the park in 1931 and it opened in 1950. Bernheim Forest was given to the people of Kentucky in trust and is the largest privately owned natural area in the state. Bernheim, his wife, daughter, and son-in-law are buried in the forest. In 1988, at least one outside consulting firm was engaged and work on a new long-range plan for the forest was begun. One of the directives of the new strategic plan was to make the arboretum a primary focus. In addition, the forest decided to strengthen its research ties with institutions such as the University of Louisville. As a result, Bernheim Forest was renamed Bernheim Arboretum and Research Forest. However, most local visitors still refer to the property as Bernheim Forest, and some of the signage located along surrounding roads still refer to the old name. In recent years, Bernheim has developed a strong volunteer program, added frequent public workshops and classes, and successfully hosts several large public events each year. These include the annual Colorfest in October, Bloomfest in May, Connect, an evening in August where art, science and nature converge in unexpected and funky ways, and a 5-mile runs walk, held in October. Features and offerings. Generally speaking, the property is divided into two areas, the Arboretum and the natural area. The Arboretum features formal and informal plant collections and various modern facilities, including handicapped accessible restrooms. Other Arboretum features include numerous walking paths, a visitors center, cafe, and gift shop, education center, a newly renovated children's play area and an intergenerational shelter, the Grisby Shelter, and 4 lakes. The natural area contains most of Bernheim's hiking trails, and is primarily a beech maple forest with access via paved roads. There are over 35 miles of hiking trails and scenic fire roads, including the 13.3-mile Millennium Trail and the 3.2-mile paved hike-bike pike. One short trail, the aptly named Fire Tower Loop, leads to a metal observation tower that is often open to climb via stairs. There is also a canopy walk which extends off a cliff and places the viewer above the trees and sharing a wonderful vista. Hiking trails range in difficulty from casual, short walks to strenuous jaunts designed for the more serious hiker. Per Bernheim's website, the Millennium Trail is by far the longest and most challenging. As a result, Bernheim asks that hikers set out before certain times in the morning, as well as register at the visitors center prior to starting the hike. In 2005, a hiker died of a heat stroke while attempting to complete the Millennium Trail. Bernheim is open daily from 7 a.m. until sunset, the exceptions being Christmas Day and New Year's Day. The Visitors Center, gift shop, and art gallery are open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Activities one can engage in at Bernheim include walking, running, hiking, picnicking, birdwatching, bicycling, plant identification, photography, fishing, and special events. Although overnight camping was once allowed in a designated campground, it is no longer permitted. Bernheim is dog-friendly. The Education Center offers programs for school and other groups. In 2005, a new visitors center was opened and is considered to be a revolutionary eco-friendly design. Designed by the architecture firm William McDonough Plus Partners, the center is constructed of recycled materials and has live plantings on the roof. The parking lot for the center was specifically located so that mushrooms could absorb contaminants that cars emit so they wouldn't affect the water streams nearby. Glass and garden spaces are integrated into the design scheme. The building was awarded the Green Building Council's Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design Platinum rating. Bernheim offers memberships that include free year-round admission, discounts on educational programs in the shop and subscription to a quarterly newsletter. For non-members, admission is free on weekdays, but a fee is charged on Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays. Isaac W. Bernheim's vision. Before his death, Bernheim laid out his goals for the forest in a letter to the trustees and directors of the I.W. Bernheim Foundation. That letter, dated August 30, 1939, set the following goals: no discussion of religion or politics, no trading or trafficking, no distinction will be shown between rich or poor, white or colored. My vision embraces an edifice beautiful in design, which will rise at some carefully selected spot within the area. It may be made of marble or of native stone. Within it there will be an art gallery. Therein there will be busts in bronze of men and women whose names have risen to places of distinctive honor in Kentucky, a lasting and ever-present inspiration to the youths who gaze upon the faces. A museum of natural history containing specimens of every animal that is classified in the wildlife of this hemisphere will be provided for. A tall steel pole rearing its top far from the ground, and from it will float the American flag, to be the center at intervals of patriotic gatherings, especially of children, who will be retold the story of liberty. To all I send the invitation to come, to recreate the lives in the enjoyment of nature, in the park which I have dedicated to the use of the people, and which I hope will be kept forever free. Bernheim was a true visionary, and he himself wrote that, "Nothing is static in this world." Quote, he understood the changing nature of the world, and the need for changing thought in the context of time. A wildlife museum such as was described by Bernheim did at once exist, but has been rearranged in recent years to serve as an administrative, education center, and static wildlife exhibits have mostly been removed. A large area of the Great Meadow contains native long grass, and a very successful quail program has been established to repopulate the region with quail. There is an emission offset fee of $5 per car has been established on weekends, which some argue is contrary to the vision that no distinction will be shown between rich or poor, and that the forest will be kept forever free. Bernheim remains accessible to all. Bernheim had a vision that art can heighten and expand experiences in nature. There are 15 sculptures located throughout the Arboretum, an active artist-in-residence program, and a program called Sited at Bernheim, which supports site-specific installations and sculpture. The artist-in-residence program typically offers housing and a stipend to artists who work in ways that are in keeping with the aspects of Bernheim Arboretum and Research Forest's mission of connecting people with nature. Artists interact with the public in workshops, demonstrations or other activities, as well as sharing finished pieces found throughout the Arboretum. Past artists have worked in photography, painting, sculpture, video, performance, and the written word. Temporary and permanent sculptures are located throughout the Arboretum. Bernheim wrote in his 1939 letter that the grave has no voice, but, he went on to say, "May I not express the hope and fervent prayer that my wishes outlined in its different sections be respected as much as humanly possible." Quote, In his 1929 autobiography, The Closing Chapters of a Busy Life, Bernheim also wrote that, "I am comforted in the firm belief that the good are Amanda's lives after him."